Welcome and grand rising to all of you. I got a question for y'all because I've heard different discussions about this and it makes sense. A lot of people, even in the streets, they ask each other these questions. And which do you prefer? Because I know how I feel. I can do both, but living together or not living together. I want to hear from you all. How do you feel? What comes to your mind when you think of living, your ability to live together with other people, as well as your ability to just live by yourself, because you have people that are incapable of doing of doing either one of them. Now, me, it's always been easy for me to live by myself. I believe because I was the only child. Okay, so that kind of makes a difference. I grew up having to play by myself, do a lot of things by myself, even though I had friends on the block that I grew up with. That's the thing about it. I had friends, I had cousins and everything, but it was just me, and my mother and my father. So I learned how to do both at the same time. My parents made sure that they talked to me about getting along with other people, knowing how to read people and how to interact and engage with other people. Because you have to know how to do that. Because guess what? You're going to have to know how to do that on the job. You're going to have to know how to do that if you're in religion, to go to whatever temple or mosque or church that you go to. You're going to have to learn how to do that in your community. You're going to have to learn how to get along with other people. So, that's one thing that you guys have to grasp very hard, like really grab hold of that. If when it comes to getting along with people, you kind of iffy on that. If you ever go in the military, guess what? You're going to be having to live around other people. If you go away to college, guess what? I went to college, everybody doesn't have a single room. Sometimes they have one, two, or even three roommates. You might have a suite with a connecting living room or something like that. And you got to know how to get along with people. So living together actually benefits you. That's another reason why a lot of parents try to in put in their children, say, hey, your dad and I love you. We love to have you here, but we would really love for you to go away to college, not only just to give us a break, but also so that you can learn how to get along with other people. Because going to that high school, that's one thing, and making friends, but actually having to live with people is a totally different thing. So that's something that we all need to consider. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all up front. I'm okay with living by myself, and I'm okay with living with others, but I'm kind of strict. You know what I'm saying? In other words, don't bring me no bull crap. You know, um, but and I've lived with others, and sometimes there have been problems. Okay, and sometimes it was all right. It was all right. Okay. Um, Now, so I can live alone. I've already explained that, but I can also live with others. I learned how to do that in college. That's the first time I really had a chance outside of living with my mom and dad. That's the first time I had a chance to really live with strangers and to understand that however way I am at home is not the way that I need to be there. That there are certain rules that come into place. Okay, so my question to you all is, which do you prefer? I want to hear in the comment section right now, which do you prefer? Living alone and why? Or living with others in groups and why? That's what I would like to hear from you all. Okay, and now this is me. Okay, both denote strength, because if you live if you learn to live with others and to get along with them, then essentially what's going to occur is it's going to strengthen your ability to build relationships with others outside of the house. So if you know how to get along with your sister or your brother, or you know how to get along, if you and your best friend got together and say, you know what, man, we're going to go ahead and get this loft together, whatever. If you can get along with your brother, if you can get along with your fraternity brothers or your sorority sisters, if you can get along with other people, if you get married or you're just shacking up and you get along with that person real good, that shows that you have good social skills. And you got to be considerate and all that other stuff that goes into it. You know, because it's not just about you. You know, a lot of people feel like, oh, the world surrounds the sun just goes around me. It doesn't shine on nobody else. And that's a bunch of bull crap. Okay. Now, if you know how to live by yourself, I feel that that's a survival technique, in my opinion. Okay. I feel comfortable in saying that because a lot of people they feel lonely when they've been alone for a long time. That doesn't happen to me. You know, there are times that I want to have a conversation, but, you get used to it. You get used to it. Now, some people will pull their hair out like, because they can't stand being alone. And so they hit the nightclubs, the bars, all this other stuff, because they're like, I can't stand being alone. I can't stand being alone. You have to be comfortable in your own skin. That's the only way that you're going to make it. So that's another thing that I want to state to you, because that's a fact. You got pros and cons to it. You got pros and cons because everyone has different personalities. That's the other thing. Different upbringings. But if you can get around that and say, well, hey, we're going to meet here in the middle so that we can accomplish something, then that's good. It doesn't mean that you have to necessarily agree on every single thing. It doesn't denote that. What it denotes is that, hey, now I have skills that I've built up. And I've also built up skills working in social work and working in sales that actually increased my social skills. It enhanced the realm of what I was doing, and it changed me as a man, as a professional. It changed me because I had to stretch myself to pull skills out of myself that I didn't even know was there. That's what I'm saying. So that's all I really have for today. I don't like to sit up and talk too much, okay? Because you guys got other things to do, but I like to share. And I want you to have a wonderful day and a grand rising. Peace. See you later from Akai.